Occupiers embracing violence. Now Democrats stop embracing the occupiers? Welcome, everybody. I'm Neil Cavuto. Capitol Hill police today trying to track down the person or persons who threw a smoke bomb over the White House fence. It happened late last night during an Occupy protest. The president and first lady weren't at home at the time, and yet, so far, no arrest yet. All this as House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi appears to be distancing herself from the Occupy movement.
As opposed to the Tea Party, which was practically a wholly owned subsidiary of the Republican Party, we don't really have much of a connection with the Occupy.
But wait a minute, wasn't this the same Nancy Pelosi who said this a little while ago?
God bless them for their spontaneity. We must give that 99% a stronger voice. It's young. It's spontaneous. We have to move forward to empower the 99%. It's focused, and it's going to be effective.
Occupiers? What occupiers? Anyway, the Daily Caller's Jamie Weinstein says it's probably a little too late now for Democrats to try and distance themselves from these guys. Nevertheless, they are doing just that. What do you make of it, Jamie?
Well, look, the president once said that we are on their side. He's adopted the language of Occupy. One of his spokesmen yesterday used the term 99%. He often uses the term millionaires and billionaires. You just saw what Nancy Pelosi said. There's many other examples. And the fact of the matter is, it wasn't just yesterday the Occupy movement turned violent. There's been plenty of examples of sexual violence in these Occupy camps. I think there's been 6 arrests just at the Washington, D.C. Occupy camp up through January 3rd. I'm sure there's been several since then as well. So I don't think the Democrats can escape this being associated with this. With their own words, they tied themselves to it.
You know, I knew this day was coming, Jamie, because I knew that, you be careful of the friends you embrace because they'll come back to bite you. And these, occupiers, when they were targeting Wall Street and fat cats and largely what is deemed to be Republican institutions, then everyone on the Democratic side was for it. As soon as this hate spread to groups closer to their home, and in this case, the president's home, then, hey, we don't know him.
Yeah, and it's going to be trouble in November. It's not good to be associated with this merry band of public defecators, finger wigglers, sexual harassers. There's some do-gooders there.
And that's just in Congress. That's just in Congress. Go ahead. Right.
That's right. I mean, there's some do-gooders there, and, the anger at Wall Street is not completely without merit, but this group is completely out of touch with reality, and frankly, they do some bad things, as we saw yesterday. They're screaming, F the police. This is not a group that any political party wants to be associated with, but the Democrats associated themselves with their own words.
I'm wondering, too, whether, say what you will on Nancy Pelosi and the president of the White House and all the powerful Democrats. They're very good at looking at optics. They came up with that term, after all. And I'm sure they're looking at this and at how when these movements get increasingly violent or at least unpleasant, that they're looking to 1968 and how a raucous anti-war movement, whatever you said about the justness of its cause, scared a lot of average Americans sitting at home, the great silent majority, as they were called then. Do you think they're worried that this is boomeranging on them?
I think they are now. I mean, they weren't back when they were saying these nice things about them. They were hoping, I think, it would be like the Tea Party that would spur their base to come out and support them. I think it's going to be just the opposite now. People are not going to want to be associated with the radicalism of the Occupy Wall Street movement. These people aren't asking for reform of Wall Street in a lot of cases. They're anti-capitalists, and America is generally the large swath of America not anti-capitalist.
All right, buddy. Thank you. Good seeing you again. Jamie Weinstein in